Now I'm kind of just going to go over a little bit, if I can move the slides, in terms of what, let's say, a bit more the academic and the theory behind citizen science. And when we talk about citizen science, it's a relatively new term. But the involvement of volunteers and, I'd say, engagement in environmental monitoring is certainly not a novel practice. But over the past kind of decade or so, the technology and advances in technology have led to a rapid increase in the range and ways in which volunteers can actually assist with data collection and analysis. And it's been kind of acknowledged with government departments and agencies now regarding citizen science as a way to involve the public in the development of both research, monitoring, and generating evidence to inform policies. So for example, you've got DEFRA's Tree Health and Biosecurity Action Plan, you've got the National Pollinator Strategy, and these all kind of call for training volunteers to assist in these kind of monitoring exercises. But to put simply, when we talk about citizen science, it is really about engaging non-professionals, so not kind of traditionally trained scientists, in producing new knowledge and generating new understanding. And underlying this, in terms of looking at citizen science, we can kind of see the value in the practice when you look at things like the Principle 10 of the Rio Declaration, which states that environmental issues are best handled with the participation of the concerned citizens at the relevant level, and also that authorities are obliged to facilitate and encourage public awareness and participation by making information widely accessible and available. But it also recognises the importance of public participation in achieving sustainable development goals. And with the rise of citizen science, there's also been a rise in a creation of various networks and associations globally. So for example, you have the European Citizen Science Association, you have the Australian Citizen Science Association. And these associations have also developed kind of sharing best practices and building capacity in relation to delivering citizen science projects. And there have also been kind of, let's say, 10 basic principles of how citizen science programs should be delivered. And I think Perrine probably, I'm not going to go into what these kind of 10 principles of citizen science are, but Perrine will provide in the chat a link to those so that if you are interested in reading a bit more, you can. So when we're looking at citizen science, obviously you need to engage the public and you need to engage people in relation to that. And the ways in which you engage people differs depending on the context and obviously what you're trying to achieve in terms of a particular program. And this can be very kind of passive, let's say, levels of engagement. And this is kind of collectively looked at in terms of crowdsourcing projects and programs. And these can range from just using people's mobile phones in terms of look as sensors, and there's not anything active that they need to do. Whereas you can look at the other extreme in terms of a citizen science program, which is much more collaborative and the deeper level of engagement, where the public and citizens are actually involved in designing the research questions, developing the methodologies in terms of data collection, and actually looking at how that information can then be used to inform decision-making processes.